welcome to Moms on Mics. I'm Joanne.
I'm Cash.
And I'm Sophia.
The anticipation was almost painful. My heart was pounding in my chest. I could hear the countdown of the people from the floors above. The time grew near. The seconds ticked away. 5, 4, 3, 2. There I was in the service panel room in my condo, my hand on the master breaker for the whole building. 1. I threw the breaker. There was a satisfying kerthunk from the battleship gray box, and suddenly the whole building was plunged into darkness. The emergency lighting in the hallway came on. There were a few seconds of silence. The screams of joy and celebration were quickly replaced with the screams of fear and terror, the realization that Y2K was real. The nerds and geeks, those chicken littles, they were right. Waited 30 seconds and reset the breaker and then got the fuck out of there as quickly as I could. An opportunity like that does not present itself very often. You have to take advantage of it when you can. I still chuckle about it to this day. And that's by Computer Savvy on Reddit. I'm sorry, that is so funny. So this episode we are talking about Y2K, New Year's Eve, 1999. What was the big deal? Just another New Year's Eve, right? Well, looking back now, yes, that's all it was. But at the time, for those of us who are old enough that we lived through it and remember it, it wasn't just another New Year's Eve. It was a whole unknown.
I remember as a kid being told, oh, the world's ending as soon as it turns.
Right? I kind of remember how old I was.
Oh, I remember I was at the back alley, the bar, the back alley.
Were you? That's awesome.
Yeah. And it never ended.
Right?
I didn't believe it was going to, but
I would have been what, 22? Would have just turned 22, I think. And I had my oldest, and I was pregnant with my youngest, and we were at my mother-in-law's. I thought something would happen because I was like, there's no way that they've made this big, huge deal about it, and then nothing. I think that was my first realization that maybe not all grown-ups know what they're talking about. And it kind of shattered me a little bit. It was only 22, right? So I didn't have a lot of life experience. Even though I was already married, already had a kid, I didn't have the life experience. It just wasn't there. So I was kind of like, they have to know what they're talking about. And it was the first time I'm like, oh, fuck, they might not. Uh-oh. If they don't know, we're doomed.
I was only 13, so I was just trying to get the
You were
logistics.
just a baby. Did you get to stay up till midnight? Sorry.
No, I never did.
Aw, at 13?
Yeah, I never did until I was 18 and I could go out on my own.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, I told my kid, like, I think they were like 5 the first. I'm like, yeah, for sure, stay up. I mean, they never did, obviously, at that age, but I was like, absolutely, you can stay up till midnight. I mean, they didn't until, fuck, I can't even remember how old he was, like, the first time they stayed up the whole, like, all the way up until midnight, but whatever. I'm like, if you can make it, you just can't be a dick the next day because you're tired. But if you want to stay up, stay up.
I was from a strict household, so 9 o'clock was bedtime, and I was up at 8 o'clock to start my chores.
Ugh.
So we didn't really do a lot of that unless I was sneaking out or sleeping at a friend's house or
Right. Oh,
you
that
had to
sucks.
wake up at 8 o'clock and do chores.
Oh yeah,
On New Year's Day?
any day.
Oh my God, like every day?
Oh yeah. So I struggled in school, always have, and I was in the summer, I had to come home and do math work the whole summer. I was not allowed out till I did my math work, and it's not
What?
even age appropriate.
Your mom was a big...
So, yeah, was this your mom or your dad?
No, my mom. My
That's a
stepdad my stepdad, he never adopted me, so I couldn't really, like, I could listen to him unless my mom didn't like what he said, then she'd be like, he's not your dad, and you have to listen to me, so.
Whoa, that is some major mom manipulation going on there.
Oh yeah, so my stepdad let us drink at the house for my graduation because I graduated before 18.
Yeah,
So he let us have like a little party at home and all that, but
right.
if it was up to my mom, he wouldn't let me.
Parents need to, I mean, you need to be strict and you need to like teach your kids good to an extent. But if you want them to hang around when they're older, PSA for you, be fucking nice to them. Like,
That's why
don't
8 years
worry
till
about the
Christmas.
small shit. Like it's New Year's Eve. Who gives a shit?
My kids stay up till midnight.
Summer. Who gives
Right?
a shit? Right?
Yeah. Did you live on a farm?
I wish.
Oh, the only reason I ask because like farm kids, they have to get up early and do chores and shit, right? Which is understandable because animals, they don't give a shit what time that it's New Year's. They want their food and shit. Like, so I get that. But like, if you're just a city kid, the fuck do you need to do at 8 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Day?
I lived in a cul-de-sac in a fourplex all around.
Oh, this is heartbreaking. I'm so like distraught for you. And you're like, whatever, shut up, move on. But I'm
Well,
like, what?
my kids stay up to midnight. If they can make it, they can make it. If not, it is what it is. I won't really go to parties till midnight with them yet.
Yeah. Oh, of
'Cause
course not. Yeah, that's
has
totally different, right?
But if he wants to stay up, stay up. I really don't care.
Yeah.
Just
I
don't
mean,
be a jerk.
exactly. That would be the rule. The way that you get to keep staying up is if you're not an asshole the next day. Like, I get you're tired, but you don't need to be a jerk about it.
Yeah, or sleep in.
Right? Yeah, just stay in bed. Stay in bed. Enjoy
All right.
sleeping in.
In December of 1999, the world prepared for the impending global meltdown known as Y2K. It all stemmed from the seemingly small software glitch. Many older computer programs had coded dates using only two numbers from the year. At midnight on December 31st, a misinterpretation of 00 in the year 2000 might cause widespread errors leading to mass panic. These fears gave rise to another anxiety-inducing acronym, TEOTWAWKI, the end of the world as we know it. This had the potential to basically shut the world down. Everything with a computer would be affected. Mainframe computers in essential sectors such as banking, insurance, government, and manufacturing, utilities and power plants that relied on computer maintenance for safety checks, examples, water pressure and radiation levels, transportation systems, especially airline reservation systems and scheduled flight computers, telecommunication equipment, including mobile phone software, that later experienced issues with the Y2K plus 10 problem in 2010. Military systems such as the UK's Rapier anti-aircraft missile system, which had a Y2K fault. The problem extended to smaller embedded systems in various types of equipment, medical equipment and devices, security and fire detection systems, automatic teller machines, ATMs, and credit card systems, including machines that couldn't process cards expiring after 1999, manufacturing process controllers and oil and gas pipelines, building systems like elevators, temperature control systems, and lighting systems, consumer electronics, including some VCRs and PCs with non-compliant BIOS firmware, smart pumps used in applications like sewage plants, where date logs driven by the system's clock cause them to malfunction or run in reverse, office equipment such as faxes, photocopiers, and time clock machines, software applications and personal computers, PCs, were also affected. Operating systems and software, including Microsoft Windows 3.x File Manager and some versions of Microsoft Excel that had issues with the year 1900 being treated as a leap year. Programming languages like COBOL, Perl, Java had functions that returned the year in a format requiring careful handling by programmers. PC BIOS and real-time clocks that were not designed to roll over from 1999 to 2000 correctly, sometimes defaulting to an incorrect date like April 1st, 1980. Thankfully, the so-called year 2000 problem didn't live up to the hype. I remember the Java.
Basically, anything that was ran by computers was going to be the problem. And that's pretty much everything at that point, right? Like, not to the extent that it is today, obviously, but the majority of things had a computer in it.
I was going to say, today's age, you have everything. Even your health is computer.
Right?
It stemmed from a data efficiency measure. Way back in the expensive early days of computers formatting years using 2 digits instead of four, with most computers interpreting 00 as the year 1900. So the theory was when we roll over to the year 2000, instead of computers thinking it's 2001, they are going to think it's 1901. Y2K would have been avoidable had they used 4 digit year dates from the beginning. Like Cash said, the date switchover could have been catastrophic for many areas, including Wall Street trading systems, power plants, and tools used in air traffic control. The Federal Aviation Administration puts its systems through stress tests and mock scenarios as 2000 drew closer. 23 million lines of code in the air traffic control system did seem a little more daunting, I will say, than I had probably anticipated. FAA Administrator Jane Garvey told NPR in 1998, ultimately, there were no system-wide aviation breakdowns, but airlines were put on a Y2K alert. Dozens of communities across the U.S. formed Y2K preparedness groups to stave off unnecessary panic. Kathy Garcia, an organizer with the Y2K Community Project in Boulder, Colorado, said fears of a societal meltdown offered an opportunity to take stock. How do we help each other out? Not when a disaster hits, but beforehand? Garcia told NPR's Margot Adler in 1999. Her project set up shop in a Boulder Mall storefront, offering Y2K educational videos and exhibits on food storage. Local resident Richard Dash stopped by, urging people to consider their neighbors, not just themselves. Do you want to be the only house with lights and the only house with the smell of food coming from it? Do you want to really turn yourself into a bunker? He said. Dash added he hoped nothing would come of Y2K besides a renewed feeling he could count on his community in an emergency. And it could count on him too. Instead of conserving their extra food, he said people could come together and share it. We'll all have a panic, he said. We'll give extra food to food share and nobody's going to be hungry for a while. And that'll be just terrific.
You know, this always makes me think of The Walking Dead, right? Because realistically, people are going to panic and they're going to be all about themselves. It's not, the idea that we could all help each other out and stuff is really nice. But if The Walking Dead is taught as anything, that's not how people react. Like everyone's going to hoard as much shit for themselves as they can and fuck everybody else, right? Like if you have enough food that you could feed your family for, let's say, a year, or you could share it with your community and feed the whole community for a day or two, which are you going to pick, right? I'm not saying that that's a good thing, but
I have a friend who would buy I would call it end of the world food. He would stock up on it because he was convinced the world is like going to crash and burn. I mean, he would buy, it's like, I don't know. It's like packaged. I don't know if it's freeze dried or if it's, and you just, I don't know what it was.
yeah,
But
it's usually like in a package, it's freeze dried. You just add water
yeah,
to it and it makes
some
something.
kind of food.
Yeah,
And he would just buy and buy and buy and stock up, stock up, stock up. And that was like 20 years ago.
right?
And then there was even a point where I was looking at it because he had me all worried, right?
Right?
But good
See,
thing I didn't.
I also lived through the ice storm 98. So for us, it was normal to have a whole bunch of candles and have a whole bunch of extra food because we needed it.
What, hang on, was that here or was that in Quebec?
Quebec.
Okay,
Ice storm
so I'm like,
98.
I don't remember that.
Where all the trees broke?
Yeah, like it was literally ice all around. 'Cause,
Crazy.
again, my mom sent me to school in it. But yeah, I broke my ukulele on the way.
Oh no, did you get in
But
trouble for that?
no, because the teacher was like, "You're here in an ice storm. What can you do?" But we had to
Right?
like go sit in sleep in a school because we had no power. So we got all the candles and the old school way where you put it on a pot or whatever and boil the
Yeah.
water and
You had to sleep in the school?
oh yeah, we have no power.
Like your family?
Yeah, they opened up the school so a
Okay.
whole bunch
Cool.
of people went because they have generators where we don't.
Right. Yeah, I always wonder what you do in situations like that. Like we had a massive snowfall. It was in March, 97.
Oh, back then?
Yeah, 97, 98, something like that. And the city shut down. Like there was so much snow. And I remember I called my boss and I was like, yeah, I'm not coming in. And he's like, transit's running. I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming in. I'm sorry. Like I think I worked like retail, so I was like, I don't give a shit. My husband, he made it all the way to work, but he couldn't get into the parking lot. So his boss sent him home from there. But basically, the whole city shut down. But it was still pretty warm because it was March. There was so much fucking snow, but like it wasn't that bad outside. So we went outside with our kid and all bundled up in a little toboggan, like his little baby toboggan. And it was a great day. Like it was, I think, the last snow day I ever remember. And I've been praying for one since.
Don't have them out here as much. Like Montreal,
Yeah.
you have them all the time. You see schools canceling all the time for snow days, but out
Yeah.
here you barely see them.
Like, I would love a good snowstorm where I cannot leave my house.
Right?
Like, there's just snow piled up to the top of the door.
Right.
Like,
And we
you
have to stay
cannot
home
leave.
for like
There's so
2 days.
we gotta stay home for like longer than 2 days,
Well,
maybe 4.
but then you think they like usually lose power, right?
I
So
tell
then
you,
you
my
get
day home parents would shovel their
no
way here.
kidding.
Okay.
That's just it, right? You'd have to be like, look, I'm fucking closed, man.
Right? Like they would literally shovel their way here.
Yeah. We can't go to work, but I made it to your house.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it would be.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I need power though. Like I couldn't lose power. I
That's
need
why I
power.
say 2 days. I figure we could probably make it for 2 days without power.
Yeah.
You could find something to do. I mean, I have board games. My husband hates board games so much, but I'd be like, look, this is it. This is our time to play board games. We are going to connect four, motherfucker. So it wasn't just corporations cashing in. Governments around the world set up war rooms and emergency response centers. The US military, for instance, ran global command simulations to ensure nuclear weapons wouldn't misfire. I shouldn't laugh, but like, can you imagine? Oops, I'm sorry. My nuke misfired. Jesus Christ. Leaders even went on television to calm people down. President Bill Clinton gave reassurance, while smaller governments stockpiled generators and medical supplies just in case. For all the chaos, it also highlighted how dependent we had become on computers, which, there again, if you think about it, we were so dependent on them in 1999. Just wait, it's gonna get worse. Y2K was one of the first moments ordinary people truly realized how much of modern life ran on code. However, we didn't seem to learn from that realization. We seem to have taken the idea and ran with it. But the Y2K bug wasn't just a technical glitch, it was a cultural phenomenon. It was a late 90s cocktail of millennial anxiety, corporate profiteering, and 24-hour news hysteria. The panic that made us unplug our toasters, stock up on bottled water, and for some, buy bunkers. After all, by the late 1990s, cable news was thriving, and Y2K made for irresistible television. Worst case scenarios seem to be on a loop from the media. Planes falling from the skies, elevators trapping people between floors, power plants shutting down midwinter, cars crashing because the traffic lights went out, or their engines simply didn't work anymore. Magazines and newspapers jumped on the frenzy too. Time magazine ran ominous covers, and local news anchors gave nightly Y2K readiness updates. You have to remember this was the pre-social media equivalent of a viral panic.
This was 25 years ago. We didn't have Google yet, not really. Sure, Google was created in 1998, but it wasn't until the early 2000s that it became popular and not everyone had a computer. Search engines were not what they are today. AOL came with a computer as a floppy disk. Our internet, if you were lucky enough to have it, was dial-up. The content online was minimal. News archives, public records, and phone books were the main content. We relied mainly on the news, newspaper, magazines, and of course the tabloids with headlines claiming "World Ends," "Doomsday 2000," or "Y2K Nightmare," "Planes falling from the sky," "Nukes launching," "Millennium Bug to kill millions," "Hoard food, cash now, experts warn of total collapse." It didn't help that we were already swimming in end-of-the-world anxieties. Nostradamus predictions, end of days, religious groups, and turn of the millennium vibe made Y2K feel like the real deal. 2 separate movies called Y2K were released in 1999. One was a made-for-TV disaster flick, the other a theater release. End of Days. Arnold Schwarzenegger took on Satan himself in a millennial doomsday showdown because Y2K apparently wasn't terrifying enough. Commercials leaned into the gag too. Tech companies bragged about being Y2K compliant. Even snack brands used the bug to push chips and soda for your survival party. The panic wasn't just in movies. It was a marketing tool. Y2K compliant became a buzzword stamped on everything from software to refrigerators. Imagine slapping Y2K compliant on your toaster like it was a selling point.
Taking advantage of the apocalyptic fears surrounding Y2K, plenty of companies released all manner of Y2K survival kits. In the months leading up to the supposed doomsday, this soon became a multi-million-dollar industry, with one company appropriately called Preparedness Resources raking in $16 million by selling supply boxes made up of dehydrated food, water purifiers, battery-free flashlights, blankets, and waterproof matches. The real preparedness came from Scott Sperry, Preparedness Resources president, who instituted a no-return policy on all the kits he sold.
Genius.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The Clinton administration said that preparing the U.S. for Y2K was probably the single largest technology management challenge in history. The bug threatened a cascade of potential disruptions, blackouts, medical equipment failures, banks shutting down, travel screeching to a halt if the systems and software that helped keep society functioning no longer knew what year it was.
If it all had have come the way that they said it would, it probably would have been fucking terrifying. Especially if like planes are falling from the sky and shit. That's terrifying. Like,
right?
I mean, I do not fault anyone that changed their travel plans so they were not flying over New Year's at that time. I would do the exact same thing.
Oh, hell yeah. There's no way I would get on an airplane.
Right? Oh, look at that. It's 11:45 p.m.
Right.
1999. Let's get up in the sky. Fuck no. Like, I'm surprised they even had any planes in the sky at that point. Like, absolutely not. And I mean, I'm terrified of flying as it is. God, no. So in the years and months leading up to the turn of the millennium, computers experts and financial analysis feared that the switch from the 2-digit year 99 to 00 would wreak havoc on computer systems ranging from airline reservations to financial databases to government systems. Millions of dollars were spent in the lead up to the Y2K in IT and software development to create patches and workarounds to squash the bug. During the early days of the internet, concerns about the Y2K scare, also known as the millennium bug, were justified. Historically, financial institutions have not been as technologically advanced. Since many big banks used outdated technology, it was reasonable for depositors to worry that Y2K might disrupt banking operations and hinder transactions. The widespread worry caused global markets to anxiously approach the new millennium. Research firm Gartner estimated global costs to fix the bug would range from $300 billion to $600 billion. Individual companies also offered their estimates of the bug's economic impact on their top-line figures. For example, General Motors stated that it would cost $565 million to fix the problems arising from the bug. Citicorp, a holding company for Citibank, estimated that it would cost 600 million, while MCI, a global marketing engagement agency, stated that it would take 400 million. Like, for fuck's sakes, people, why didn't you just do four-digit dates in the very fucking beginning?
And didn't something actually still happen with it? Like,
Oh
it
yeah, we're gonna
wasn't,
get into that. Yep.
I was gonna say it wasn't as dramatic, but something did happen with it, didn't it?
Yeah. But can you, like, what the fuck are you spending $600 billion on to fix this? I would like to know a breakdown of what what every dollar of that 600 billion is going to. You're paying computer guys to fix it. It just,
Did they fix it? Did they fix it enough for Y3K though when it comes up?
they did fix it, and it's Y2K 38. We're going to talk about that too. Oh, yeah.
Well, it's because like the world doesn't end, like it keeps going.
Well,
So
okay, but like there wouldn't be a Y3K because it's still like it's the last two digits of the date, right? You know what I
right,
mean?
because it
So it'll
turns
switch over
back.
and it'll still like 01. It wouldn't matter at that point because the problem is at 1901, there wasn't anything. The computers weren't alive
Right.
then, right? Alive. You know what I mean? They weren't running or operating. The computers are alive.
Okay, I guess I didn't think of it that way because I
Yeah.
know like there's BC, there's AD or whatever, but I didn't think of
Yeah.
it that way.
Because basically the computers would have gone, what the fuck? We're not here. We don't work.
While the Y2K panic now is usually thought of as an overreaction, the lack of any real issues might have been because of the hundreds of billions of dollars poured into the fixes in the years beforehand. In an interview on CNN, Bill Gates said that Y2K ended up being a fairly minor issue because people really worked together. If people had ignored the thing, then we would be seeing the real impact. Medical errors. In the UK, a computer error in a hospital caused 154 pregnant women to receive misreported fetal Down syndrome test results. This ultimately led to two women undergoing abortions for healthy fetuses. Conscription notices. A Y2K-like bug in Pennsylvania's Department of Transportation caused the U.S. military to send 14,000 draft notices to men who had been dead for decades, some born in the 1800s.
Okay, that one's kind of funny.
Oh, wow.
That'd be insane.
Right? Could you imagine? I mean, there again, it's funny because this is 25 years later, right? Which is why it's funny, but my God.
Minor glitches. Other minor incidents include a non-dangerous alarm going off at a Japanese nuclear power plant, some slot machines failing in Delaware, and minor billing errors. The United States was one of the most proactive countries when it came to dealing with the impending Y2K bug, spending at least $100 billion on fixes, with approximately $9 billion of that coming from the federal government. The intelligence and defense systems in the Pentagon got much of that funding, around $3.5 billion. But despite months of pricey computer patches and hardware overhauls, the government still had issues with important spy satellites for nearly 3 days after the new year. The feeds produced a stream of indecipherable information before the satellites were up and running again. Once the root of the problem was discovered, officials realized it wasn't the bug itself that cut off communication. It was caused by the software patch that was designed to fix the issue in the first place. A man from upstate New York quickly found himself making headlines nationwide after the Y2K bug seemingly focused its wrath on the computer system of his local Blockbuster video rental store. The glitch erroneously reported that the man's copy of Renting the General's Daughter was 100 years overdue and presented him a bill for $91,250 on New Year's Day. The problem was quickly fixed and the customer was given a free video rental for his troubles. I mean, I miss Blockbusters.
Right? Oh my God. But how pissed would you be when you show up the next day? I'm sorry, sir, but that video is 100 years overdue. You owe us 92,000 bucks. Oh my God, that's so
Go
funny.
ahead.
It's just so funny.
Just 2 minutes after midnight, alarms began going off at the
Uh, oh
Onagawa,
my God.
Onagawa.
Onagawa.
Alarms began going off at the Onagawa, Onagawa.
Okay.
Okay, just 2 minutes after midnight, alarms began going off at the Onagawa nuclear plant. Oh my God, I can't. Okay. Why you give me this shit? Just 2 minutes after midnight, alarms began going off at the Onagawa nuclear power plant after computers picked up a problem with a device that measured the temperature of the surrounding seawater. The ordeal only lasted around 10 minutes before everything was corrected and no serious issues were discovered. Another similar event took place at the Shika nuclear power station after a Y2K glitch caused some of the plant's alarm systems to go offline. Worst of all, a computer at a government office that monitors the plant at all times went dead along with the alarm system. There were other minor hiccups like this around Japan, but all were immediately contained and corrected. Officials at the time would not confirm if all of these events were even directly linked to the Y2K bug or were just standard glitches. The U.S. Naval Observatory is the official timekeeper of the United States, so you can understand how embarrassing it was for the agency's website to declare the date as January 1st, 19100.
Hang on. I'm pretty sure there's an
I'm
extra
like,
zero.
what? 19100? Oh my God. I swear you just like to fuck with me. And Cash. You get all the easy shit.
I do know.
This weird stuff. So you can understand how embarrassing it was for the agency's website to declare the date as January 1st, 1910, in the early hours of Y2K. The issue was fixed less than an hour after it was initially reported. One of the most common Y2K problems had to do with computers being unable to recognize people's ages accurately. In Denmark, the country's first millennium baby got an auspicious start to life when the hospital's computers originally registered it as 100 years old. Then the computer system for the German opera company automatically reverted its dates back to 1900 on January 1st, 2000. This caused all the ages of employees and their children to be taken from the last 2 digits of their birth year, meaning someone born in 1990 would be classified as 90 years old. This temporarily prevented employees from collecting child subsidies from the government normally included on their payroll.
In Germany, the Y2K bug was the prime suspect in the case of a man who suddenly found himself quite a bit wealthier in January 2000. Apparently, his bank account had randomly been credited about $6 million, with the date on the transaction reading December 30th, 1899.
Oh, wow.
Officials at the time weren't sure if the Millennium glitch was responsible for the man's sudden cash flow, but his good fortunes likely didn't last long. I'd be like, fucking quick, withdraw as much as I possibly can. Yeah. Honey, we're relocating. Start the car. Plenty of other issues involving banks, hospitals, transit authorities, and other agencies occurred, but most were just temporary nuisances that were barely notable enough to make the local news. After all, Hotmail displaying the year is 3900 for a few hours isn't exactly enough to get people rioting in the streets. It sure is funny though. Canada didn't spend anywhere near close to what the US spent, but they did spend around $2.5 billion on Y2K preparations.
Because we're dumb, but we're not that dumb.
Right? Because we're like, we'll do a little, but really, if shit goes really wrong for us, the US and Britain are going to take care of our asses. So we're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
for the federal government alone. The total national cost, government plus private sector, potentially reaching 50 billion. Covering fixes, wait a minute, that's a big fucking jump. Covering fixes, emergency planning like Operation Abacus for the military, and ensuring critical systems for banking, phones, and utilities worked for the new millennium. Key issues and impacts in Canada were panic and hoarding. Public anxiety led many Canadians to stockpile food, medication, and fuel. Some residents withdrew large sums of cash, fearing banking systems would freeze. Service suspensions to minimize risk at the stroke of midnight. The TTC, Toronto Transit Commission, planned to suspend service for 5 minutes on either side of midnight. And the Toronto District School Board delayed its Christmas break. Why would they delay?
Why? Right?
Right? No, we want you to come to school for the millennium. That's fucking weird. I mean, good on the transit for like, we're going to halt for 5 minutes on both sides. But the school district, I think you may have fucked up there. Minor technical glitches. While no major disasters occurred, several small-scale failures were reported. Toronto Ambulance Dispatch, a computer program routing ambulances to emergency wards in Toronto, failed. Medical device issues. Health Canada reported some non-compliant high-risk medical services, though manufacturers generally addressed them before the critical failures occurred. So we didn't, like, nothing basically happened. And if you notice, most of it happened in Toronto. Just saying. Take that as you will, conspiracy theorists. I'm just kidding.
But don't worry, if you are not old enough to have been alive during Y2K or to remember it, you're going to get your turn. 2038 is widely considered the next Y2K and is frequently referred to as the year 2038 problem. Y2K 38, or the apocalypse.
That's clever naming there, people.
While similar in its potential to cause global computer failures, it differs in technical cause and scope. The 2038 problem issue centers on how many older and embedded computer systems store time. Many systems, especially those based on Unix and Linux, store time as the number of seconds elapsed since January 1st, 1970. The Unix epoch. These systems often use a signed 32-bit integer to store this number. This integer has a minimum limit of 2147483647.
Is that like, let me try, 2,147,483,647.
Yep. Nailed it.
Too many numbers for me. At exactly 3:14:07 UTC on January 19th, 2038, this limit will be reached. 1 second later, the counter will overflow and wrap around to a negative number, causing the system to think the date is December 13th, 1901. They really like 1901.
I'm guessing it's like when they first started, and I mean, if you're a techie guy out there, please feel free to correct me because I'm sure there's some computer programmers listening. But anyway, I'm guessing whoever like first kind of created the internet or whatever, or like computers in general, put 1901 as like the beginning of computer time. That would be my theory. Because they needed a date, right? The computers need a date to know what date it is today. Like if there was never an initial date, you wouldn't know what date it is today. Like the computers wouldn't.
Right.
Right? Because they all have a calendar system in them. So I'm guessing they just picked, because you got to think like in the like 30s or 40s, whenever the fuck they started making all this computer shit. I'm not gonna pretend I know when. I mean, they had to have had computers and stuff around like for World War II at least, right? Like to be able to have like subs and communication, there's some kind of computer thing there, right? So they needed to have like a calendar for it. There's no way they would have thought to think past the 1900s, right? Like to think into 2000. Like it's so far away out of your thought process, right? Like when you're planning stuff for the future, you don't think, okay, well, oh, what about in 100 years from now? what if they still need this? Like, if you think of like Back to the Future, they thought in the year 2020 we'd be flying around in cars and shit, right? So they probably thought the system they're creating right now would be obsolete, so it wouldn't matter.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense in my brain. I'm sure it's not technically why, but that makes sense to me.
But not to worry, people are not as gullible today as they were way back in the 1900s. Hopefully, the sarcasm was clear. We no longer fall for misinformation and fake news, unrealistic health claims, scams, and conspiracy theories, right? Oh, wait, we still do. These beliefs spread easily due to psychological factors like cognitive biases, emotional appeals, and the influence of social groups.
The rapid spread of information on social media means people often fall for misleading or entirely false news stories. People are more likely to believe information if it comes from sources they already trust, in-group sources, or if it appeals strongly to emotions like fear and outrage. We are often duped by miracle cures, fad diets, and supplements that promise outrageous results, such as extreme weight loss or the ability to cure serious diseases like AIDS with vitamins. Scams like phishing or promises of easy money also exploit our emotional reactions and lack of careful thinking. Widespread belief in unsubstantiated conspiracy theories is prevalent, ranging from false flag operations to elaborate theories about public figures being replaced by lookalikes, lizard people, and so on. These often appeal to individuals who feel insecure, lack trust in authority, and are more likely to be suspicious or paranoid. Urban legends and common misconceptions, many widely accepted facts, are actually untrue. Examples include the belief that sugar makes children hyperactive, that we use only a small percentage of our brain, or that you eat a certain number of spiders in your sleep each year. Get-rich-quick schemes are advertising ploys. Ads and salespeople often create a sense of urgency or an emotional plea to encourage impulsive decisions, such as limited time offers or claims of scarcity. The Barnum effect, where people believe generic personality descriptions are specific to them, is also used in advertising and fortune telling. So, will Y2K 38 cause the same widespread hysteria? Probably not. Not that the media and governments won't try. Who knows? We will probably just get a tax that will fit it. Similar to the carbon tax. There's no way we are falling for that again, right?
But okay, on a more serious note, can you not just see fucking Mark Carney? Okay, Canadians, we are implementing a Y2K 38 tax. Give me a fucking break. That's how we get rid of it, guys. We're gonna have a tax.
Yeah.
Just like, the hole in the ozone layer, global warming, the carbon, like, fuck me. Every 10 years, every 10 years or so, the government comes up with this whole theory of
new tax.
Right? Like the hole in the ozone layer. I guess we fix that. I mean, good for us. It worked. It's
Did we fix it?
Fuck no.
Is it?
It's
what?
But I mean, we don't hear about it, right? We don't hear about that anymore.
Hairspray. It's not good for the ozone layer. When I was like 15.
Yeah, and then there was the Cuban Missile thing. That was a huge thing. Apparently, we avoided that. Another win for us. And then the trees. Do you guys not remember that for the longest time it was don't waste paper? Don't waste paper. We're losing all the trees.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, apparently, we had a whole abundance of trees, and it was okay to waste the paper because of the turtles. We can't use plastic, so now we're gonna cut down all the trees and make your paper straws that fucking suck, okay? I'm telling you, paper straws, no good.
So do wood spoons and forks. They suck too.
But we have this abundance of trees apparently because the hole in the ozone layer got fixed. So now we have all the trees back. Just come on, people. I'm telling you, you heard it here first. if closer to 2038, we get a Y2K 38 tax, I fucking called it. Okay? I called it. So this survivor number 42,
Okay.
he was a programmer. So
Okay.
this is his thing from Reddit.
He is survivor number 42. I was at the heart of it, a programmer, so I knew the potential ramifications. I did hear all about the planes falling from the sky and thought that was funny. I would not have flown, though. I thought some businesses might have problems and a glut of repair demands would be delayed by up to 6 months. Nothing happened. I took a few thousand out of the bank and a couple of weeks later put it back. Back then, you could buy anything with cash anytime, lights or no lights. My lawyer, on the other hand, totally freaked out. He bought a bunker and land with a water well and went there. Even though I was an expert at the time and told him not to worry, no one ever listens to me. Lol. And that was that. What I learned, it doesn't hurt to prepare even if nothing happens. If the preps don't really cost anything, extra food or water or fuel in the gas tank are absolutely costless to enact, and it takes a real dummy not to do all the free stuff. I later lived through several hurricanes and learned it is great to be prepared and to know enough about enough things to be able to make informed decisions. I also learned that sometimes really stupid looking stuff turns out to be genius. Like the people with mattresses on their roofs going to Dallas. Man, I thought they were dumb. Then when Dallas ran out of gasoline too, that was the end of the line for everyone. The mattress people dumped their mattresses in parking lots and slept under the stars quite comfortably. They were looking ahead one step further than I was. And they anticipated there not being gas far from the coast. They were right, but man, they sure look stupid on the freeway. Lol. I also learned that the time to make a move is long before everyone else is making their move. So you have to look kind of stupid, like overreacting in appearance. If you move with the herd, you sit stuck on the freeway going nowhere with the herd. The herd is your real enemy every single time. Never forget this. They are the ones that empty the gas stations, buy all the toilet paper, and get stranded on the road blocking traffic. Your mission is to always be 24 hours ahead of them. That is literally all you need, because they will never, ever catch up to you if you had a running start. You can always go back and help them after you've gotten yourself out of harm's way first. Oxygen mask theory. By the time the COVID bullshit happened, I knew that action had to be taken very, very early because it was a geometric exponential issue, and these types of issues must be addressed way, way, way early. And after everyone else has panicked, there's nothing more to do to be ready. You're done at that point. My garage was full to the ceiling a month before anyone ran out of toilet paper. I never found myself needing anything except cough drops. Should have saw that coming. I expected the scourge to run through a good bit faster than it did, and I did not anticipate just how fearful and hysteric people would be. Once again, the herd was the enemy. Today's threats are not as benign as the Y2K threat. Society has changed. Information systems now exist and are widespread. Everything requires the internet, even buying a bottle of water. This modification of the core of the infrastructure has put mankind in severe and deadly danger from completely stupid stuff. Many more nuclear countries are run by maniacs, and war is now inevitable. This is not your daddy's Y2K, and I'm your daddy in this particular case. And I'm telling you now, we weren't more.
Yeah, I think he makes a really good point though, right? Like you've got to anticipate beforehand. You've got to be ready. The toilet paper thing, man, fuck, that drove me nuts.
But how do you anticipate that? Of all things,
Yeah,
how do you
that's a
anticipate running out of
difficult one.
toilet paper? Like, I don't understand how he had toilet paper stacked to the ceiling in his garage because
Right?
nobody knew that we were going to run out of toilet paper, of all things.
Yeah,
Right?
because especially the thing that baffled me about that, I'm like, it's not a gastro bug. Why are people suddenly shitting themselves all day long? Why do you need so much toilet paper? What is going on? But I guess if you can't make it to the store, what's the one thing you would need above, like other than food and water? What's the one thing that you need from a store that you can't get? I
Toilet
guess it would
paper?
be toilet paper, right? Like everything, like entertainment, everything else you can live without. But, and like if you've already got the food and water stuff, the only thing you really need is the toilet paper. Like it makes sense when you break it down that way, but there was still no need to hoard it. Like people did
Right.
not need to go and buy shopping carts full of fucking toilet paper.
You know what I did? I went on Amazon and I bought a bidet. I
That's
didn't even
clever.
need toilet paper anymore.
That's clever.
Because we couldn't find it. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna go order a bidet. So I ordered a bidet and my husband hooked it up and now I can't live without one. So
Right. I mean, I did panic only because everyone else was buying the toilet paper and I couldn't find it. And I'm like, oh my God, we need fucking toilet paper. Where the hell did you get it from? And I may have paid $38 for 6 rolls
oh my God.
because I'm like, and I like panic bought it. And then my husband comes
bidet cost
home,
me $20.
right? My husband comes home and he's like, hey, I ran out at lunch to the other Costco and I picked up some toilet paper. I'm like, oh. I'm like, well, that's fantastic. Thank you. And I will not tell you about the $38.
You didn't tell him, did you?
No, I didn't tell him. What idiot pays $38 for 6 fucking toilet rolls? This one. But yeah, no, like I remember being like, oh my God, like we're not really going to be out of toilet paper, right? And then I remember thinking, you know where people won't go to get toilet paper? I'm thinking I'm so smart. Shoppers Drug Mart. But guess what? Everybody did think of
Everybody
Shoppers
was
Drug
there,
Mart.
yeah.
Even the gas stations. And I wasn't even completely out, but I had this like panic of like, oh my God, what happens if, what do I do? How do I?
Yeah.
Because to me, like I didn't quite understand that you could just buy a bidet and attach it to your toilet. I thought it was this whole other system you had to buy, like, and had a plumber come in and do, like, I didn't understand there was something different.
You just have to go on Amazon, search bidet, and then look through the pictures. And it
I mean,
tells
don't
you
ask me why I
it's free.
didn't think to do that. I did think to buy toilet paper for $38 on Amazon, but I didn't think to look for a bidet. But now, as the new year is only a few days away, and we are continuing our way towards the future as we enter 2026. Close your eyes. Let me take you back in time, back to a simpler time when modern day technology was still new, when pagers were still worn on your belts, but would soon be replaced by the flip phones. When going to Blockbuster Video meant your weekend was going to be amazing, as long as the case on the wall had a movie behind it. A time when low-rise jeans, miniskirts, cargo pants, and crop tops were fashion staples. When our shoes and belts were clunky, and our shoulder bags were tiny, and our sunglasses were oversized along with our earrings. When must-see TV Thursday nights was reserved for George Clooney in ER, and the TGIF lineup reached the beginning of the end with Two of a Kind, Boy Meets World, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and Brother's Keeper. When Friends taught us that to move a couch, you have to pivot. When Britney Spears hit us with One More Time, Christina Aguilera was a genie in a bottle, Backstreet Boys wanted it that way, and TLC wanted no scrubs. A time when Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, hit the theaters, awakening a new generation of Jedis. When a movie with the biggest twist since Darth Vader would come out, and with it, one of the most iconic one-liners, I see dead people. The Sixth Sense. When Julia Roberts was just a girl standing in front of a boy asking him to love her. 1999 was a simpler time. It was before the world would be forever changed on September 11th, 2001, before the world would be forever changed again by social media and influencers. We knew how to keep it fit and have fun because Hal Johnson, Joanne McLeod, told us during Body Break. We didn't have the world at our fingertips, but we weren't fooled by AI because we knew to ask questions when things didn't seem right because the North American house hippo had taught us to. We still got together with friends to find out what was new in their lives. We didn't have the pressure of looking perfect for the gram, getting likes and views, and people were a lot nicer to each other. I'm not saying life was perfect, but we knew the rules. The first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club, and we followed them to infinity and beyond.
Mic drop.
If I could get all our 1999 cliches into one little thing. But that is going to be it until 2026. And the next time you hear from us, it'll be the new year. And I will be bringing in that new year in Vegas, baby.
Are you going to Vegas for New Year's?
Fuck yeah, I am. I will land in
cool.
Vegas 10 a.m. on December 31st.
Who are you going with?
Stephanie.
Oh, cool.
We're going to see the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere.
Oh, right. That's so cool. I like that idea.
Right? So this
will be so much fun.
And this is actually my very first time ever doing anything like party-esque for New Year's. I've never done anything like this before.
So where are you guys going for New Year's?
Basically the entire strip, like every hotel lets off fireworks and shit, and the entire strip is just a big party.
Oh, so you just go to the strip?
Yeah. We'll just get our drinks and head to the strip and watch the fireworks and watch the people getting crazy drunk, having a good time. What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
I think I'm going to go to my campsite.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we did it a few years ago and we had fun, so.
Nice.
All our camping people. Yeah.
Well, that's good. The campsite will be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah.
Cash, you're doing nothing?
I don't usually do anything. I watch the ball drop and that's about it on TV.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Happy almost New Year, I guess. It's not quite. Almost.
Yeah, we haven't even come to Christmas yet, so
right?
Slow down.
So that's it for Moms on Mics this week.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Moms on Mics Podcast, on TikTok at Moms on Mics, and join our Facebook group, Moms on Mics.
If anyone has any topics you would like us to cover, or if you have any questions or suggestions, you can email us at momsonmics@gmail.com or submit through our website, momsonmics.com.
We would also appreciate it if you could rate and review us on whatever platform you're listening on. It really helps the podcast move up on their charts so it gets more exposure. I hope you join us again next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.